Hey guys, what's up? I am thinking that it's about time we go back and look and see how my end of summer TBR actually stacked up to what I did. You know me, I've mentioned before that making TBRs truly just sets me up for failure. Outside of readathons, if I'm like, in September I would like to read, I tend to not do so well. But I figured we're well into fall. We're like halfway through it, honestly. Maybe not. I think we're actually only like 3 weeks in to a 3-month season. We also all know I can't math, and time is meaningless. But anyway, I figured we'd check in, see where I was, how I did, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put together a TBR for the rest of the year. And we'll see how it goes. For the end of summer TBR, I had stuck to 10 books that I was hoping to finish by the end. So that was September 22nd, I do believe. It was my anniversary, was the last day of summer or the first day of fall, or whatever. I'm gonna go in order that I had stated in the video. I will link the video down below. So let's get into it. Book I had hoped to finish by the end of summer. I don't know if you consider it finished. I'm gonna consider it finished because I gave it a shot, and to me that is finishing something on your TBR, and that is The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. As most people have heard by now, it was not the book for me. I DNF'd it well into 60% through, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been a little bit more. I'm not gonna harp on it. I will consider it a win because I read it. Most of it. Some of it. I didn't leave it on the shelf unread. 1 for 1. Book number 2 is a big fat fail, and that is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I didn't get to it, and I told myself, that's okay, you can read it in fall. It seems like it'll be a very fall-y book. Book number 3, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I did read this. I'm proud of myself. Good job, Kay. Good job. For those keeping score, we are now 2 for 3, which is quite fantastic for someone like me. So we'll move right along to the next book, which is my second fail, and that is A Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden, which is just at this point becoming embarrassing because Bear and the Nightingale is one of my favorite books ever. And here I am pushing this back and back and back. So now we are 2 for 4. 50% success rate, which is still failing. Book number 5 on my summer TBR, The Dream Thieves by Maggie Stiefvater. I did indeed complete this. It was amazing. I already talked about it in my wrap-up, so I'm not going to get into it. But we are now officially 3 for 5. If we could count the next one for multiples, I'd be well ahead of the game, but I'll just count the first one because I think that I only had the first one on my TBR, and that is A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I can't gush about V.E. Schwab any more than I have already. It has been completed. I've lost track of where we are. I will have a counter actively going in my edits, and we'll know where I'm at. The last 4 were all digital ebooks, so I will insert them in this corner here. The first one was All the Missing Girls by Miranda something. I keep wanting to say Miranda Cosgrove. I'm pretty sure, even though my age is beyond that part of, I believe, Disney, the name is what's in my head. That's not the author. I'll insert her name right there. But anyway, All the Missing Girls, I did complete it. So there's another tick for me. Number 8, I had To Kill a Kingdom by Alexander Christo. I'm guessing because I don't have the copies anymore, so I do my research before I film my videos, clearly. I did not read it. Wah, wah. The 9th book was The Female of the Species by Megan McGinnis. I'll be really happy if I got that right. I did complete it. Check. And finally, Number 10 is Fortune Smiles by Adam. Just Adam. I did not complete it. It was a collection of short stories. I read 1.5 short stories. It was weird. I might get back to it at some point. It wasn't a priority of the final month for me, and thus it got pushed aside, and so our total, our grand total, 6 out of 10. That's not so bad. I'm actually pretty proud of myself. I think putting a TBR in place actually pushed me to try and read some of the ones that have been sitting for too long on my shelf unread, like The Cruel Prince and Children of Blood and Bone. I'm gonna do it again, so I'm just gonna roll right into what I hope to finish in the rest of the year. So that gives me November, December, and more than half of October. None of these books are part of the Spookathon or the Booathon, which are the 2 readathons that I'll be doing at the end of October, starting Monday, and I think that'll carry me right to the end of the month, actually. So I really only have November and December to wrap these up. I was gonna stick with 10 again, but I stretch goaled it to 12 with 2 hopefuls. Let's just see what those are. First and foremost, we're gonna carry over 3 that I didn't finish in the summer that I wanted to. That is, you're not gonna be shocked, but The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert and The Girl in the Tower by Catherine Arden. I got no more excuses. I really need to get this done. And what I was going to start saying when I said that I failed in reading this is that I picked up, I was laying in bed last night not feeling so great, and I didn't want to listen to music, but I also wanted to go to sleep. So I decided I was going to scroll through Overdrive and see if there are any audiobooks available that I would not mind listening to, and saw that The Bear and the Nightingale was available. So I downloaded it and I listened to it, and I decided that whenever I have the downtime, I'm going to listen to it in pieces as like a refresher, so that as soon as October is over, this is numero uno in November. That way I can't back out of it. It's a deal with myself. This book will get read next month, 150%, especially because Winter of the Witch is on pre-order and it'll be in January. I don't have time to not read this. And the third one that I'm going to carry over from the summer is To Kill a Kingdom. With that said, let's carry on. I would also like to get to the Mr. Mercedes trilogy by Stephen King. So we've got Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, and End of Watch. I think it goes in that order. I'm in like a Stephen King kick right now. I don't know if it's October. I don't know. I just read Salem's Lot, and I just want to dive right back into more Stephen King. And so I'm gonna get to these. That is some tiny text. I would like to also get to Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I was watching the Psycho Nix the other day. Her September wrap-up included Nevernight, and she sold me on it more than I think anyone ever has before, even though everyone always says Nevernight is so great, and I love Jay Kristoff. I just haven't prioritized it. But then she said, have any of you guys played Skyrim and remember the Brotherhood? And I was like, fuck yeah. I've put so many hours into Skyrim that I probably could have gotten an undergraduate degree in the time I spent playing Skyrim. This book is apparently for me, and I don't know why I have waited so long to pick it up. It's gonna be picked up in November. I will get to it in November. If there's anybody that hasn't read it and wants to read it with me for accountability, like, just let me know or something. I don't know. I also want to get to Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I know. I just went and met her, and I just read Vicious, and I really should just get to it, and maybe if I get through my TBR for the next couple weeks, I'll finish it in October. I would really like to, but it's not a priority because then I'm like basically have run out of V.E. Schwab books that I own, and I'm just not ready to know what happens to our beautiful characters. And thus, I'm putting it off a little bit, but I will get to it before spring, before 2019. Also, The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. It's beautiful. I have not heard a single bad thing about this book. I think I will love it. I've started following the author on Twitter. She is awesome. I love her viewpoints on like everything she ever posts about. I'm pretty sure that she and maybe V.E. Schwab were like talking about Nevernight and how amazing it was. I don't remember, but I want to get to this hefty chunker of a book. I would also like very much to wrap up the Raven cycle with Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and the Raven King, and just be able to say that I did it. And I don't know if, I think I mentioned this in a vlog or a wrap up of some kind, but with The Dream Thieves, I was like, I'm gonna read it in 5 days. It might have actually been 3 days. And then I picked the page numbers and I set goals and I finished it when I wanted to finish it, because once I get into these books, I don't want to put them down. So I think I'm gonna do the same thing for these. I don't do it often because I don't like the pressure. It has to be the right book, and I think these are the right books for me to do that kind of thing. I do have to complain though, these copies, these editions are like crappily bound. So for anyone looking for the Raven cycle, try and get them in hardcover. Because like the spines break easily, I feel like the pages are gonna pull out. It's not floppy. You always see Chelsea say, I love a good floppy paperback. This is not floppy. Look at this, not floppy. And lastly, my stretch goals, because those are my 10. I believe that was 10 that I like. When I come back, if I do most of those, the majority of the 10, I'll be happy. My stretch goal is yet again Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor and Muse of Nightmares. My Strange the Dreamer copy is downstairs and I forgot it and I didn't feel like getting it, so we're gonna insert a photo. And my Muse of Nightmares copy has not arrived yet because I ordered from Book Depository to get the sprayed edges, and for some reason customs takes forever. A friend in Canada, they got her copy like days ago. She ordered from Book Depository as well. I don't know. The US sucks. It's still waiting. Regardless, that's my TBR along with the stretch goal. I put off books for way too long, but it's overwhelming how many books I want to read, and thus, isn't that everyone's issue? So I'll check back in sometime in early January and see how I did for the end of the year. I've got high hopes. These are books I really, really want to get to. We'll see what happens. That's it for me, guys. What do you have on your TBR? What's been on your TBR for too long, but you're not ready to unhaul it because you know you want to read it? I'd like to know. Any of these books, maybe we could buddy read. Let me know, let me know. If you've liked this video, go ahead and hit like. If you're new here, subscribe. If you like the content and you want to see more from me. If you want to be friends, link up on any of my social media platforms down below. I love seeing all my new Goodreads friends. I like finishing a book and checking everyone else's star ratings afterwards. It's one of my favorite things to do in my reading these days. Leave a comment below if you have anything to say to me or you want to discuss something. I'm here for it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. I have like 8 different lipstick marks on this cup. So it's gonna be pocked up. Do you believe I went to school for writing and I can't even speak?